there we have it. This is what it's all been. This is what we've all been waiting for. The whole lead up. This is the final moments of this tournament here.
And Meto off the back, trying to catch that freeze on MOT. MOT, all he's got really is the Leaf Blade Battle Axe. Going for the G-Maul, Hero Spec on Prey Melee, decides to go against it. Very smart there. And here we go, off the bat. Like we said before, that Warhammer can hit huge amounts, even without the special attack. It's such a strong weapon.
Oh, he's just getting massively faked out here. Like, he's not even hitting with the hammer, just forcing the melee prey up over his head. And a lot of times what you see in these fights, especially as we enter the later rounds, when, you're kind of capped on the food because, we supply it with them, in between these rounds, is you'll dump your specs in the early stages of the fight just trying to gain pace, gain tempo. But because these guys are able to bank, you could see a lot more brews, a lot more restores. So the Tribrid should have a little bit of an upper hand here, I think.
Yeah, when we talk about Tribrid, we mean magic, range, and
all
melee.
Three styles.
So obviously, like I said before, the overhead prayers give you a 40% damage reduction. So getting that prayer right on the right opponent's attack style is absolutely crucial. And trying to fake your opponent out, like bringing out the crossbow till the last second, they bring out the melee weapons, they can't really change their prayers in time, is really where the skill comes into these fights.
Most definitely. I think what's interesting about this fight is Meto just apparently happens to be Boaty.
That's so, Adam.
It is
oh,
indeed.
Wow. He's got full Arims. He's got the hammer as well.
Completely stacked out. It's probably why he's
helm.
Very familiar with PK and doesn't do it as much recently, but
gotta be
seems
careful.
to do great so far.
I wonder why he's got 10 recalls. One of that's because he's got his own suffering, or he's hoping for one. It could have been G-Mauled out there on 70 HP, but I think he got his pre-melee up just in time, to be honest.
That's the look. That's the G-Maul at the end of the day. You're either going to hit high, or you're going to hit nothing.
You live where you die by it.
Yep.
And we're talking again about, like, in this final, how much you can just keep calm and collected and make sure every single move counts. And people like Adam, who've been on these stages before and who's been playing for a long time, he's going to be keeping calm. He's got the experience. So he can go definitely very, very far. I didn't realize he got made this far, actually. He's with CT representing them. They got him through. One of the only, I think, 20 members that actually got through. So props to him for getting this far as well.
And because he knows his opponent already used all the special attack, he could kind of breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief here and just really focus on getting his switches down. You see him DD Bridding against his opponent here, just trying to maximize his damage while minimizing what the other player is able to do. You can see the other fights going down around Bodhi as well, but it looks like he's got a clear hold over this fight.
I mean, he's using like Arims with his range. He's looking a little bit rusty, so he's treating this as just like a little bit of a...
41's nice.
Well, I mean, that's pretty good as I say that, yeah. Maybe we can check another fight. It looks like Adam's definitely going to win this. He's used one supply so far
really
compared to half the
rely
inventory.
on his magic anymore.
No,
right? It's nice just to keep him frozen, but even if he just sticks to melee and range here, I don't think he'll be able to out-DPS his opponent.
Has moved one square since this fight started. That was his starting position from the banking phase. Bodhi is training him hard.
I want to see how Jay's doing, or Curtis, and see how they're getting along, because I know that Jay had a really difficult fight to fight, as well as Mika, using all three attack styles as well. We can jump to them at some point. 48, was that a spec? I believe it was. Damage reduced now, defense reduced rather, and there you go, straight off the bat, hitting the 31s. The smite is up. Really confident right now. 25 as well. He is destroying this guy. 48 KO. And that is the power of the Warhammer and the special attack.
He just bopped him.
I believe
right
that's the first win for him right now.
Okay, so this is the skill specs fight. You see him using Carols as well as Darroch.
Oh my god, he's doing
to do
so
damage
well.
on DL level 112. Yeah, he's keeping pace with this fight, doing a lot of damage. Venge up as well. That's free damage on his opponent.
He could win this
Even though
fight,
he's
to be honest.
frozen, like, he could still tick with the DH here. There's the Vengeance, only does one there,
I can't
but
believe
still
it.
damage.
He's got 6 brews, I think, or 5 brews versus 4. He's actually winning this fight. That's unbelievable. But the VLS obviously hitting through low defense. If Jay doesn't get his prayers up right here, it's going to be very hard for him. He's got that Vengeance, like you said before. Every time they DD, that's more time in between the Vengeance to stack up and keep doing that more DPS. Now, Jay, hoping for those direct hits. Can he get it off? He's faking them, making the guy put up Prey Melee, and then he goes back to the Carols for that DPS. But Carols is not the best accuracy. When we go to Jay now, and his clicks, keeping calm, but he's realizing he's low on supplies. He only has 6 Sandfuse left. If he runs out of those Sandfuse,
really help out Jay here is he can make his character model invisible, so at least he knows for sure what his opponent is about to switch to, so that he can adjust his prayers.
Yep. Hold on, Cola, render self for it, isn't it, or something like that. But still, regardless, he's staying calm. He's putting on the Darrochs in between the switches, and his opponent right now with a VLS, but Jay getting that prayers on straight away, showing his ability at the moment. But the guy's just camping Prey Melee the whole time. Luckily, a good Vengeance there for him, but it's going to take a lot to come back right now. He's got 5 brews left, going for the spec. On Prey range, that's unfortunate. If he hit like a 50 there, that would be like a 100+ damage stack.
That was a big
over
hit
time.
for him to take as well. As you can see, he's really running out of his restores now, or Sandfuse, what he's going to be using. So very soon, he's going to be starting to take out more damage. He's not going to be able to deal out as much because he's not going to be able to get his stats back up. I really hope that he can manage to pull through. If he can last a few more seconds, the Fog's going to start coming in and dealing consistent damage between his opponent and himself.
Nice, the thing is, he's always in this fight because he has Darroch. You never know if he gets one lucky hit off melee.
That's all it will take.
Of the fight.
Well, I mean, he's got like 80-something attack, 90 strength. It's not the best stats. This guy's like almost max. He's not potted up anymore either. He needs to make complete use of that Carols. And unfortunately, Carols does have a very low defense bonuses. But luckily, he's doing quite a good tanking. As you see here, he's utilizing the Darrochs at much higher defense bonuses in between every single hit that he can, trying to predict which switch this guy's using. Go for the axe. Oh, unlucky, mate. Put the premium right in the right time there. But now Jay down to only 2.5 brews. To be fair, coming this far as well and taking this guy on and actually doing very, very well against him is quite formidable as well. Now honestly, being hit twos by the Fog too. It's going to be hoping for the massive Darok sacks like we said before.
Yeah, from what we saw, like this is probably the toughest round 1 matchup you could have really asked for, especially if your skill specs with the gear you're bringing to the table here. But still, he was hanging toe-to-toe with this guy for the majority of the fight. He's just waiting. Unfortunately, he's just getting out DPS and outpaced here.
Unfortunately, though, he puts on the wrong prayer there. A little bit of panic. He only has 2 brews left, but unfortunately, he's gotten the Sand Fuse wrong. He does not have enough Sand Fuse, which means he cannot restore his stats back up again, which means, hopefully, he can do enough DPS right here and right now.
Right here. It's got to happen right here.
Here we go. Oh, he got frozen in place.
Could have been it.
Unlucky, man. He's got to keep calm here. The other guy's low HP as well, sitting on low defense, and Jay has no option right now but to brew. And it might be all over from now. Without the restores in place, you can tell he realizes he's not got much to do here, and he can't actually use his vengeances either, because once you brew down, your magic level goes down as well. He's got to hope for that massive axe whilst brewed down. I don't think it's possible, but you never know.
But look at his opponent doesn't know. His opponent might not know that he's out of resource, or at least making him panic, just trying to outlast his opponent here. Hit by hit down to 19 HP. The Vengeance gets procced there as well. He's doing a good job to stay alive, but I don't think he could sustain.
No, he's down through the prayer as well. The VLS, oh, it's going to smash him again. The 33. Not much you can do against that VLS, showing the true power of the ancient weapons. Great job by Jay, though, getting this far.
And
he must
Curtis
be proud.
In his fight against Incel Man, going up against a guy here.
No way! That guy had no food left. He had no food left.
And within a few seconds, everyone on the stage is down.
Oh my gosh, that's
Curtis was so high up. Why did he not eat up? Unfortunately, we didn't get to see the fight beforehand, but it seems like he was on a lot of a lower HP than he needed to be with the amount of supplies he had.
Yeah. Well,
and now we know how dangerous his opponent is. Staff of Dead as well as AGS could certainly output a lot of damage as this first round of 1v1s closing to an end. So we're watching Oscar go up against Kalmar's here.
Yeah, Kalmar's opting for the range and whip combo, so a bit of a range tank. Looks like it's doing pretty well. He's got 1 brew and 1 dose left compared to Oscar, who has the full, the same amount or so.
Wow, this one here,
he's got double Armadillo. That's huge magic defense bonus. It's going to really destroy those mages.
Armadillo crossbow as well, DFS.
Dude, that is a crazy tank. Oh, he's got the Cosmics, which means
plus,
if
he wins this fight, he'll pick up the FGS of his opponent.
I'm not going to lie. I think Terminator might have a really good chance with the VLS2 hitting through prayer and that tank gear that he's got right now. He can take so much damage.
Is that also a torture amulet that he's got equipped?
It's a Fury, I believe, for the prayer bonus, the defense bonus. Like I said before, he's just a huge tank. He's also got the tomahawks to slice people's heads off with. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how he uses those.
And Weast, he's already saying GF. I mean, Terminator, he's only got 3 doses of brew left compared to 7 on
unfortunately, East only has one Sand Fuse. And again, getting these restore to brew ratios incorrect can really be fatal for you. So Terminator right now is trying to fake in between the VLS and the crossbow to output as much damage as possible. And East, if he starts eating those brews right now, drinking those brews, he won't be able to do any damage at all. So it's really right down to the wire.
He could even SGS spec right here. He's got 50% now, so at least it's something that can maybe keep him in the fight.
But he opts for the... What? Why is he throwing the tomahawk?
Yeah,
there it is. The 12, unfortunately, though. Not quite enough, but it's something, you're right. But
it was perfect
now
as well in terms of using the axes to switch in between the prayer, and he got the attack just before he managed to get the prey melee. It could have worked. It didn't.
Whoever wins this fight is going to have a huge advantage in the final, though. But it looks like Terminator might just get through. Oh, now East starting to use the brews. He can't really do much else. And maybe, I mean, East might win just because of the fog hitting 2s constantly. Even though he's brewed down, East won't be hitting any damage at all. Hopefully somebody can get a big hit off, but looks like it's maybe too little, too late.
Wow, well, obviously the fog is going to be doing more damage now at this point, and because he's run out of food, that's it. The fog killed off him.
Oh, wow. That's very
a huge W East is literally just
he's laughing.
Swimming in gear right now.
And again, a really close fight just goes to show the ability of all these hybrids. Very well matched. All have got very, very good experience. 117 combat. They've been training all week non-stop. We've got Checkpoint and Lol Who Dat. Lol Who Dat. Look at that advantage he's got right there. The other guy, to be fair, is just a range tank. But it goes to show that, the range tank meta maybe isn't as powerful as it used to be.
Not only is he a range tank, look at his inventory. All potions.
My gosh.
Maybe all brews and restores.
If he won that
fight till the very end.
Well, I don't think he's going to be able to come back from Who Dat, especially with the fog hitting like this. But we see, what do you guys think about the new weapons so far, then?
I love what they're bringing to the table here. It looks like there's just more KO potential here. So often, in previous Deadman's past, it came down to who had less supplies at the end when the fog was coming in. But now, these guys, they could quite literally get KO'd with supplies still left in the inventory, just like you saw happen to Curtis, unfortunately, a couple of moments ago. This guy, the Earth Splat.
Oh, man. I want to see here. I want to see some redemption flicks from Ranger Boots. If he can get it on right now, he's got enough. He's not using the redemption. Why not? Oh, he could have stayed alive and potentially won that fight altogether with 10 restores. But Earth Splat takes the win.
And now we have it, the first round of the 1v1. So, I mean, incredible to watch there. We had a lot of people lasting it out until the final few moments. That's obviously due to the fact that we can give people banking now. Is this another fight that we've missed?
I believe so. This is the last fight.
Yeah. Wow, okay, so we weren't just at the end. This is the last fight for us to see, and it looks like Vomav is going to be the victor here. I think he's trying to be a little bit sneaky. Looks like someone's not been keeping themselves familiar with the updates in terms of Deadman tournament. He's got a box. It's one of those starter kits. If you remember from last tournament, you could open those, get food and supplies out. We changed that. You can't do it no more. You just wasted an inventory slot.
Yeah, waste of an inventory spot. He's only got 2 sips of brew left. This is still
the venge,
21 HP to 14.
He needed that.
Ooh, almost able to combo with the whip there. As 877, he's not just desperately trying to stay alive as prayer. At least he has Sand Fuse left, so he could try to keep this up. The redemption, keep it alive. And now Vomav, he's out of brews himself.
No, that was twice
and
there.
He has
well
nothing
played.
to restore prayer.
I believe that FAP now may take this win by the looks of things. Just about with the redemption again. That's 3 times in a row. He's got 4 left to go as well. And
wow,
boom!
Straight off 27 bolts to the face. He's down.
That's really unfortunate. He's got the box open as well right at the end. Could have come back because of that. With 10 tuners, I believe you get 100 HP.
Even though it's only tuna, HP is HP, but it looks like it's an exciting finish to our first rounds. Unfortunate for our content creators we have up on stage. They're all dead men now.
I still can't believe that Curtis fell the way he did. He was up like 5 or 6 brews, bless him. That was an easy win for him, I believe. And just that's what it takes with the fog hitting as well. You're in that pressure situation. You're sitting on 40 hit points. You think to yourself, oh, I'll be fine. Let's just finish this guy off. He's down to like 5 hit points. Got hit 36 or 38, whatever it was, and he's out. Yeah,
definitely want to wait around until we get to the point of being able to give him a quick interview and find out exactly what happened or what was going through his head at that time that left him in the unfortunate position of being at such low HP, what happened leading up to there, and then eventually what led him to fall. I do have to say, whilst we didn't get to see so many KOs here with the PvP weapons, the one thing that I love the most is just what they have brought to the table in terms of different setups. Now, we've obviously seen a lot of range tanks in these first few kind of like rounds, fights that we saw. I don't think that's going to be the case going forward. We saw the fights that ended the fastest were the people that were switching gears and killing people with the PvP weapons and going full tri-brid, sorry. So I'm hoping that I get to see a lot more of that. I want to see that big KO. It's a shame we're not going to see the Darek KO, but I can't wait to see what comes up next.
And look, a big reason why you didn't see too many KOs in the first round is because these guys are able to bring as many brews as they want, so they're able to heal, over max HP. But as now the food starts to get limited, the pace of the fights is going to really start to pick up, and you're going to start to see these players really unload their specs at the start of the fight. And maybe some players will get KO'd a little bit earlier this time.
And we were saying before as well, it was very lucky for some players to get that easy first win, like the guy in the Rune Med helm or the apron, for example.
Or the snail helm with a wooden shield.
Yeah, exactly. But on the other hand, if you fight a very strong opponent and you get their gear, like the VLS, for example, you get those huge upgrades, it will potentially guarantee you to go through further rounds and keep going further. So, I mean, it's still anybody's game right now, but it looks like the people with those weapons, utilizing them properly, are at a huge, quite significant advantage.
Yeah, my eyes are going to be looking out for Weiss. He's the guy who killed Terminator. He got that double Armadillo upgrade, and he's one of the last tanks that we saw, kind of advance into round 2. So I'm curious to see how far he can now make it, because he also has the SGS to work with, so he has a lot of things that he could utilize to heal and stay in the fight.
I'm pretty sure that Armadillo set belonged to CT, one of the few members that got through. I'm pretty sure they had an Armadillo set. I might be wrong there. And to lose with your team to get through to the finals and then be the one to fall, and to give that set over to the opposition.
It's got to feel bad.
Oh, that must feel terrible. It must be so hard for his other teammates now to try and come back and get through.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, now VLS, I mean, Bodhi's still in it as well. Still some names that we recognize. Still some heavy hitters left. Curious to see how far he can make it. Of course, he had a big grind towards like the later stages of this tournament. Seems like it's one of the ones that he's progressed the furthest, and I think it'd only be fitting to see how far he could advance in the ones he wants. Imagine if we see him in the finals.
I think his best chance right now to get through to this finals is to get someone that's a hybrid, that has the Zuriel staff, that has
as long as they don't have an AGS.
As long as they don't have an AGS. Anything that like gives him a little bit more KO potential, a bit more DPS. Then if he fights the guy in full Armadillo, he could potentially win the fight. Right now, I think with his gear, he's not going to be able to match up quite easily. He might be a better PKer, but that Armadillo is so tanky, and the VLS2 against him, it's going to be very difficult to come back. But making really good use of that stat Warhammer, he realizes that it reduces defense, and he just destroyed that guy like a 48, then like a 30, then a 40, just a non-stop DPS. Once you get on a roll like that, if your opponent starts panicking and can't keep up by eating sharks, because you can only heal 20 HP per hit, you can't hit back whilst you're eating sharks either, it's going to be all over for them.
Yeah, he did a great job of just faking out his opponent, right? Faking with the Warhammer hit, forcing the melee prey to come up, and then just bolting him out with his diamond bolts. But just like I was talking about a little bit earlier ago, I just want to hit the point again. Now as we look ahead towards these future rounds, we're going to replenish our inventories. We know how many sharks they're going to have. We know how many brutes they're going to have. Supplies are limited from here on out.
So let's see what kind of action unfolds as we head into the round of 64. It looks like we've got Botia against, let's see that name as it pops in here, a Gazing Graper. Okay.
Well, good luck to him. Off the bat, tries to go for the status warm. It's a 0, though. Adam trying to retaliate, but Gazing Raper with the Zuriel Staff managed to catch that freeze on Adam, so he couldn't go for the hit. And right now, both players look pretty evenly matched, stat-wise and gear-wise. Obviously, Gazing does have the DFS over Adam, who has the Crystal Shield, but both trying to fakey in their barrages right now, trying to make sure the opponent sprays the wrong thing, and then going for that last-minute switch, they can get their hits off. And it looks like Adam's doing very well of that, but his RNG is terrible. He's getting outplayed here just a little bit by Gazing. And again, that barrage, this guy knows exactly what he's doing. He's faking into the range, going for the mage last second. He realizes he's got a huge amount of DPS. The staff itself, and here comes, another 0. Very unlucky. That's 2 zeros now from Gazing.
Interesting point I just want to note out here is that Bodhi hasn't taken the option to take any of his potions yet. So that might be why he's falling behind in terms of RNG. He hasn't taken his super combat, hasn't used his ranged potion, whereas his opponent Gazing has. Now that's either going to be a good decision for him because it means he can have higher stats later into the fight, or it's going to be detrimental because it means that he didn't get out to put out as much DPS at the start.
He just keeps getting refrozen in place, can't seem to use the status Warhammer. He's tried a few times now. Gazing has used 2 of them. Obviously, if you use that special attack early on, it means you will slowly replenish it and you get more in during the whole fight. But right now, pretty even at the moment, and I believe the reason why he's not started to use those super combats yet, he's actually used 1 range pot, 1 super combat dose. He's trying to use his brews and resources. He realizes that if Gazing gets one of those Warhammer stats off, he has to try and get his stats back up again. Another 0 from Adam right now, unfortunately, on the back burner.
But he's
actually
take
got a
nice
DD though. Definitely. I mean, if he can get that DD. Again,
under it.
Again, that 10% accuracy with the Ancient Spellbook, with that Zuriel Staff, is huge for Gazing. But if Adam kills this guy, he's got an incredible DPS increase. He's got the staff, he's got the shield, he's got the robes as well. I think he's got the robes already.
So combo food is huge here. Take a look at Gazing Reaper. He has no brews left, just Sharks and Karen Bonds, whereas Bodhi, he still at least has 3 doses of the brew left. And one reason why I thought Bodhi was waiting to kind of pot up is just trying to hide his spec attack, right? Drink the super combat, that'll hide your swap over to the melee and just trying to catch his opponent off guard.
There it was!
Brings his opponent down to 28 HP, and just like I talked about, he has no brews to help combo with that counter bomb, so he's got to slow down, and this is the moment in time where Bodhi could really take control of the fight here.
He gets his restore back up again, so he has his defense back again for Gazing, gets the DD off, and stays calm. Again, here is where we see the people who have been PKing for a long time. But another 0 from him. That's such bad RNG. I think Adam's got the prey melee up every single time, so kudos to him for that too. Catches the instant freeze before Gazing could get another one. And now he goes for another one. Unlucky, the 0. And looking at supplies right now, Adam has 5 Sharks, 2 Karambans versus 4 Sharks, 1 Karamban. Adam could take this fight, and looks like he's intending to do so. Even though he's outgeared right now, he's doing an absolutely fantastic job. Great fakie there. Unfortunately, he is 0, going for the double and making the prey melee go up. But being caught in place, and that could have been big. He could have been KO'd there, I'm pretty sure, from 50 HP. They can hit like 60s, I'm pretty sure. And again, it's just straight away, right opposite. Now, Adam down to 4 Sharks, 1 Karamban.
45 hit there.
Yikes. He's low defense now. He could get KO'd. Nice combo eating. Kept the Karamans for the opportunities such as that, just to heal up straight away. He's got to catch this freeze save. If he doesn't catch it, he's in a lot of trouble.
This is a huge fight for Bodhi. That upgrade in the staff could mean the world of difference as we look ahead in this tournament. So close and contested down to the final moments here. Still has some spec to use if you could just get off.
Unfortunately, though,
and he still has sips of his combat potions as well.
He's just hitting 0s, though. He needs to get that hammer spec in as fast as possible because otherwise, he's going to fall out.
He just sipped up, so he's over max stats here. Trying to output as much damage as possible.
Any second now, he's going to go for it. He's got to fake it in as best he can. There it is in the right prey. 30. That was beautiful.
Just
it was not a spec,
well.
though. It was not a spec, so his defense is not reduced, unfortunately, for Adam. But getting hit back, and again, not a spec either. I mean, right now, he's going to catch the next freeze. Whoever's going to catch this freeze and get the DD on and go for those fakies is going to probably win this fight. Looks like Adam's down to 1 Shark, 1 Brew compared to 1 Shark. It's very, very close. Fog not hitting for a little bit longer.
It really comes down to this freeze. Who can take control of the tempo of the fight here?
But Gazing does have that. Oh, he caught the freeze. Unlucky for him. He gets caught again.
And he gets frozen diagonally, so you can't melee here. It's down to just magic and range. Bodhi, he's down to 1 Shark, 1 Brew. His opponent, just 1 Shark.
Adam's still got 2 special attacks left compared to the 1 spec almost for Gazing. If he doesn't use those as specs, he's at a big
Gazing
disadvantage.
is going to get spec soon, just 5%. One more tick of spec in, and he'll be able to spec
the
like
Blood
Bodhi.
Barrage, very smart. Healing some HP with that spell. Not quite as good as the Ice Barrage, freezing, but still very good. And the 0 again from Gazing. He's not hit a single one. Adam going for it, hitting the fakie, getting for the prey melee up. Didn't hit anything, though, unfortunately, for him being frozen in place. Gazing down to no supplies right now. Adam down to no supplies either, but he does have 2 special attacks left and higher hit points. He needs to catch this freeze or do some DPS right now, or it's going to be all over for him.
So right here, if you're Bodhi, you're just desperately clicking, constantly hitting attack on Gazing.
Oh my God,
when he backs up, you at least do some damage. Is now HP stretching
just like that.
in favor of Reaper. Bodhi might fall here. 33 HP remaining, down to just 22. He needs to catch a freeze.
He needs to stay calm.
Spec as well. Still a chance maybe for him to get into this, but just only 10 HP. One good hit from Gazing Reaper, and it's all over.
So close. The thing is, that staff, the 10% accuracy, it's definitely
close. He's healing up a little bit.
He needs to catch those freezes.
Is this going to be a
hit with your hammer?
Oh, nice prey melee right at the right time. And now Adam's still got his specs, so he's full spec. Why is he not using it? It's too late. Oh my gosh. He's going to be kicking himself watching that back, but a great performance nonetheless.
So a few little updates whilst that fight was going on. You never learn the very first Deadman tournament winner has gone through to the next round. Robert has unfortunately fallen. I believe Mika is still in this as well currently. I wonder if we're able to jump through to Mika and have a look at his fight just after this one
going on. That Bodhi fight lasted forever.
It looks like we've got these two. They're very similar entirely, both out of supplies.
Oh, no way! He had food left as well.
Not
only that, but also Redemption he could utilize too, but getting fallen to last goddess. Again, little mistakes like that. It's trying to panic at the end, and, you know, can't do much about it.
I wonder if there are any fights remaining here in the second round. Looks like that might not be the case. I mean, you know, Bodhi, I think that really came down to the fact that he wasn't able to get his specs off early on. His opponent with the Zero Seth, the increased accuracy on the ice spells really dictated the tempo of that fight. And also, if you're looking at his opponent's inventory, had the Mithril Seeds as well. So even had Bodhi caught a freeze and start to DD Bird his opponent, you had the Seeds, you could at least create some distance between you and your opponent.
It was a very good fight to watch there. I appreciate being able to see the full thing from start to finish.
Yeah.
However, I do also hear that Mika did not make it through.
He didn't make it through.
He is out as well.
He had every single
everything you could have wanted.
armor that you could have, item that you could have been taking through to the final, and to go down like that, not even that far into it. But at the same time, must be all really happy that they got into 1v1s. They had a chance of doing so. Same with Jay, same with Curtis. Everyone deserves to be here right now.
Yeah. I mean, that's all anybody could really ask for. All they want is a chance to the 1v1s. And just like I said, entering the 1v1s, if you talk to any player that's competing in the Deadman tournament, they're so confident in their ability, and they feel that if they make it to the 1v1s, they're like, yeah, if I make it to the 1v1s, I'm winning. It's the same response from anybody competing, but unfortunately, there can only be one man standing at the end of the day.
No, absolutely. And I still can't believe that Adam, right there, not utilizing those specs, so close. I mean, at the same time, his opponent, I think it was just the Zuriel staff at the end of the day. Like, he's got so much more
trained.
More freezes.
If he was going to take the risk to try and hit out that spec, he's probably going to get frozen again. Most of the time, he was actually frozen, trying to get the freeze back. Unfortunately, a lot of splashes there. Just the Arim staff is just no comparison to the Zuriel staff.
But at the same time, respect to Adam, because I believe he was offered a Zuriel staff as a donation just before the final, and he decided to decline it, because this whole tournament, he has spent the whole time
I thought this was going to be the turning point in the fight. When Bodhi hits that 56 with his Warhammer, I thought that was then on
huge.
Out, he was just going to turn things around, but then his opponent turns things around, 45 in response.
I believe, and just bad luck.
Look right here, 90% spec to 15. I mean, Bodhi could bring out 2 specs had he had the spacing and not been frozen there.
Yeah, absolutely. Both PKs here, very, very formidable. Both know exactly what they're doing, and unfortunately, at the end, just the gear slightly outmatched Adam. He wasn't able to do much about it.
All right, so now looking ahead towards round number 3. I wonder if our favorite tank, Whist, made it through. He's the guy who got the double Armadillo upgrade from the CT member. Still some heavy hitters remaining. Keep in mind, it's kind of hard to tell who is who because these guys intentionally changed their name, changed their display name so that they could hide themselves. They don't want to be a high priority target in the multi-area zones, but we still know kind of what CCs, who's representing who. And for a lot of people, competing, it's all about pride for their clan, right? They want to put their clan on the map and earn that notoriety.
Totally.
This is the top 32 now, is it not?
Yep, we're into the round of 32. I'll give you an update in terms of which clans are in there in just a moment.
Okay, so if you win this round, you're up to the top 16, so you're guaranteed a prize, or the top 8 that get prizes?
The top 8.
The top 8, so you've got to go through this one and one more. Solo Mission, a content creator, you never learn. Previous demo mode winner, both going at it. Both have got, I believe, is that the Vengeance setup? Yeah, Vengeance, range and mage tanking, going for the switches. Oh, the straight away, the spec early on from Solo Mission, you never learn, going to have to restore back up again. Not going for the restore just yet, though, for some reason. Going to be hit a lot of damage if he doesn't restore back up again, and still not restored back up again. So through his prayer, even going to hit a lot of damage with Solo Mission. And Solo Mission looking like he's got just the range crossbow, the diamond bolts into the Satyrs Warhammer. And as I said before, that Warhammer, even without the spec, can still hit like 50s, and it's very, very accurate as well. The Vengeance, that's a big Vengeance. Now, Vengeance, the quality though.
From there with the VLS just...
If that was a spec, you never learn, probably could have spec'd him out. I believe a 50 or a 60 is definitely possible. We've seen it before, and you never learn his 121 combat max. Solo Mission, again, 116 combat. He's been making videos this whole tournament, so if you want to check them out and see how he's doing, if he makes it much further, definitely worth giving a look on YouTube.
And this is the matchup we wanted to see, right? The VLS versus the Satyrs Warhammer. Also keep in mind, Solo Mission, he's got the Defender switch, whereas you've never learned. He doesn't have that. No freeze is obviously available for both these guys, so it's just range into melee, just trying to hybrid your opponent's prayers and maximize your DPS here. Yes, the VLS versus the Warhammer. Obviously, if you get the kill, you get both of them for the next round as well, which is just huge. And a 0 from you never learned, surprisingly, because he's hitting on 25% defense accuracy of the spec. It reduces the amount of defense that you're actually up against. And unfortunately, they're hitting the Vengeance, which deals a proportion of the damage back onto your opponent. A bit like a recoil. Oh, look at that! You can actually stack out and kill him.
Going in straight up there. I thought that was going to be a Solo Mission falling, but managed to eat up a little bit there and was a 0. Unfortunately, didn't get the kill. And looking at inventory supplies right now, we have 6 sharks, 1 Chrome on left, you never learn, no pots left. But Solo Mission actually got the pot still as well. Now we're moving across to Walk, who I believe is King Barnes.
or it was King Barnes, and look at his gear. Oh my god, he has the Mage 2 cape, he's got the Zuriel Staff, being bopped 38s though, having a bad time to catch this freeze at the moment by Coolboy.
And his opponent has the Imbued Heart as well, so, you know, looking ahead towards future rounds, if he wins against his opponent, that's going to be a nice boost to his magic level, especially for a Tri-Braid with the Zuriel Staff. That could really mean the difference. Also has the Mage's Book as well. He's just decked out in offensive gear here.
And his switches and his fakies are absolutely incredible. Trying to make sure his opponent doesn't have the right prayer at the right time. Unfortunately, got up right that time. Hit an 18 with the VLS. Sitting low HP, he realizes this other guy has very little KO potential. All he's got is range to keep attacking walk to walk. But walk to walk, just doing so much damage to him too. He's got 6 Sharks, 1 Crown on the left versus 4 Sharks. Hopefully we see, finally, the Tri-Braid coming out on top of a range tank who just sits there doing the same thing over and over again.
Well, you can see every single time he gets the opportunity, he goes in with the VLF spec. I mean, twice now he's hit above 20, which is a decent hit to get, especially when it's in these moments. And with very tanky gear, you can't normally hit as much. And lots of fights before, we've waited until the gas to get
the
a 41 smack as well. Now, a quick update, actually, in terms of clans, round of 32, we're looking at 11 members Weed Blazers, 7 Fools, 6 Lit.
You could have killed him there.
4 from Gimme Gimme, 3 from Cutthroat, and 1 solo player.
Looks like there's still a lot of
solo player making it through.
Then. It's anybody's game right now. Walk to walk again. He's just destroying this guy. He's up 4 Sharks now. He's done an absolutely fantastic job. Coolboy. Unfortunately, the range tank meta is no longer a thing. That staff is just too powerful, especially with the Armador plate legs too. His defense bonus is huge. Is there anything you can pick up from this fight? I guess he can pick up the Statius Warhammer potentially, which would be quite nice for the finals.
The Imbued Heart as well.
The Imbued Heart, like I said before, that's huge. And obviously as well, the Imbued Heart, actually, the higher magic level you have, the more magic defense bonus you also have. So not just as an offensive bonus, it actually helps you stay alive and your opponents catch less and less freezes.
Even though Walk to Walk has by far and away controlled this fight, there's been a lot of scary moments for him throughout. I mean, look at him right now, down to 32 HP compared to his opponent's 26, still with Sharks available to eat. Even just a little bit ago, like there's almost a chance for him to get taken out as well. So it's been a close fight, all things considered, especially since we could clearly tell that Walk to Walk knows what he's doing. He knows how to fight.
Absolutely. He's taking so many zeros right now, really bad RNG, trying to fake in constantly, and he's actually catching Coolboy out. But unfortunately, Coolboy hits a 0 as well, catches the freeze, what he needed, finish him off with a vengeance. Redemption goes up. It's still in the fight then, I guess. Coolboy down to 25 hit points, walk to walk to 50. Maybe he can finish him off here with the VLS. A 36.
And
easy
as that
for
fight
him.
comes to an end, Coolboy falls and realizes not always the coolest people win.
No way. You Never Learn and Solo Mission down to no supplies. They both have 2 restore potions, so against the Redemption from You Never Learn. Potentially the vengeance is up though. No chance.
Fault into the face.
There you go. That was anyone's game right there. Now Solo Mission actually advances with 2 of the ancient weapons now as well. We have 6
it's 47
level.
AGS.
That's what I like to see. I believe it was CD that had the AGSs. I'm pretty sure who were allianced with DL. Sorry,
yeah, Divine Legion were.
And they were allianced with Blazers as well. So they've got quite a few members left in this final round as well. And if this guy wins this fight, he gets the Zuriel Staff too. Both players have got some incredible bonuses.
Yeah, he's got one in his inventory regardless, it looks like.
Oh, my bad.
Not any major gear upgrades here. Maybe the
DFS
DFS over the Crystal Shield would be
definitely
nice just for tanking purposes, but now damage being output onto D level 112 down to 16 HP. That's all he's got left. Down to 11. Both players out of food. D level, he might drop here.
He's not changing his prayers, and hopefully, if 6 Sheep can get the combo off, he's going to get this fight very easily. He's going to get
AGS spec hero, AGS spec hero,
no redemption. Oh, no. They had spec left as well. He could have gone for the spec last minute, hit a 50 or something, got the fight. It's unfortunate for him. Looks like Shady Records versus Chance, Brid versus Tank. This might be the first tank we see to go through, having the advantage of the Warhammer, I guess, unless Shady can get some lucky hits off here. It's all for nothing. The redemption comes in, Chance out of food, but no prayer right now. The 34! Wow. Beautiful! That was such a clutch win right there. That was the closest fight I think we've seen so far, to be honest.
Definitely.
I mean, Bodhi's fight was pretty close as well. And one thing I noticed there from Shady Records, he had Onyx Bolts in his inventory. So just something, if that spec procs, it's just health that could be regenerated. Same thing along with the SGS, if we're talking about Weiss as well. Still some players with some very solid gear left remaining. I mean, we've seen close and contested fights ever since round 1. I can't wait till we look ahead towards the end.
That's one of the best things about these new weaponry that you've introduced into the game is that everyone's got a really good chance. And all the fights are coming right down to the end. And that little bit of skill extra that you've got of staying calm right at the end, catching those redemption prayers and such and get the right prayers up is all or nothing pretty much.
Sure. Now I have a little bit of information. I'm going to keep this one just a little bit quiet. I'm not going to fully divulge in all of the details.
You can't tease us like
that. When we get to the end, you'll realize why. But I'm just going to say that there is a particular participant that is still alive that has won a previous Deadman tournament. That no one is aware has been playing. That is all I'm going to say. I'm looking forward to seeing what comes of it. Hopefully, we can see them go through to the next round.
And can you tell us which Deadman they won?
I'm not going to say anything.
That's as much as I'm saying. But anyways, that's something to look forward to. Of course, the AGS is still in play. I know we've put a lot of emphasis on the PvP weapons, but the AGS could come out and deal some high damage as well.
Yeah, let's compare them. So the VLS, I believe, is a very similar accuracy to the AGS, but it's one-handed, so you get the defender as well on top. Plus, it's 5-tick, not 6-tick, so it's a little bit faster. But the AGS still has a higher max hit. It doesn't roll off lower defense, but it still has a boost to your accuracy and to your max hit. You can hit about 70-somethings with the AGS, so way more clear potential if you catch them on the wrong prayer. And we might see that coming to fruition later on as well. A little recap of all the fights. The solo mission, you never learn one. That was so close. Neck and neck. As all the fights have been, actually. 6 Sheep versus D-Level. Could have been anyone's game. And now 6 Sheep going forward with the AGS2 upgrade, although he probably doesn't want it with the VLS.
If he wants it, it's there. Of course, you already mentioned he has the Warhammer to fall back on. So still solid spec weapons available, but I think for the most part, all eyes are now on Walk the Walk. I mean, he's got the Magic Book.
Bonds, man.
He's got the Mage's Book. He's got the Imbued Heart now. He's got everything you want as a tri-breed.
He's representing Tartar, who are very familiar with again. He's known very well for his 1 versus 1 ability. Led clans, been around for many years. He streams as well, so I mean, he's definitely one of the top, in my opinion, potential winners this time around.
It definitely seems like it from the fights that we've seen, the showcase of skill that's gone throughout here, and just the sheer amount of gear that this person has equipped. I think that's definitely the favourite at the moment.
Yeah, we say that, but also we've seen a lot of all the tribers actually beating the tanks most times around. However, he narrowly beat his tank, and somewhere out there, someone has full Armadillo, which has incredibly high mage defense bonuses. He's going to have a really tough time, even with the Zero Staff, 10% extra catch freezes. If he can't catch that freeze, get some bad RNG, he might be falling.
And because he's using the Mage's Book with a Defender swap, like that's a shield that you don't have for tanking
very
ability,
low
which is something
bonuses.
that come into effect and taken away from his last fight. Like he had a lot of close calls where he was just sitting on low HP, and there are certainly opportunities for his opponent to turn things around. Maybe a quick spec could have shut him down.
The thing is, he's died a few times. He's planked a couple times up in Deep Wilderness for a few arcanes here and there. He likes to risk it. He likes to have fun, as we all do. But obviously right now, if you make that mistake, especially versus the AGS or the VLS, like we said earlier, even with
cost you 20 grand.
Even with Prey Melee up, you can still get hit 30s and 40s through Prey Melee. And if that happens when he's sitting on low HP thinking he's safe, it can just all be over him just like that.
I mean, one of the things as well, in fact, never mind, we're going to go straight into the next fight. I was going to ramble on as I always do, but I want to see some action. So let's get straight into the next round, the round of 16.
So we're currently playing for a chance to top 8. So whoever wins this fight, you guarantee yourself some kind of prize. We have 94 Mage versus Smurflife, and Smurflife looking like an absolute beast right now. He has the, Armadillo chain skirt? Oh my god, he's stacked to crazy. 94 Mage isn't going to have a very easy time fighting this guy. He's a range and melee tank. We saw what happened to the previous range and melee tanks, let alone being up against the Vestas, being up against the chain skirt as well. I believe this fight probably going to go to Smurf, even though he's only level 106 combat. He's made it this far, much lower level, but with insane gear, just going for the range and the mage combos with the the 6 only. Damn, if that was only a 40 plus, I mean,
so, but this extra 5 damage, I believe he used the Javelin spec.
Exactly.
It's still free damage under your opponent, and 90 for Mage, he's got the Warhammer, he's got the VLS, he even has Javelins as well, so he has a lot of tools to output some damage here, but because Smurf has, freezes, so he's got the Zuriel Staff, he can keep his opponent
I have to interrupt here, I've been given permission to reveal full details. Smurf for Life is actually manked up Mage.
He's come back.
You know that guy, don't you?
He's got a few all-season playing this tournament, and I believe he's decided to keep playing.
So for anyone that hasn't been, anyone that hasn't been keeping up, unfortunately, Mank did get disqualified earlier on this tournament during the week leading up to the permadeath stage. But he did have a second account. He has gone hard on leveling this account. The only option that he had available to him in the time that he had was to max out range and mage, and that's exactly what he's done. You can see here from the gear that he's got, and he's really showing that. Look at the difference in supplies that they have left.
He's not even eaten a food yet, has he? He's absolutely just dominating this guy. There's the thing. With that staff and that gear, the arms as well, his opponent can't get unfrozen enough to utilize the VLS. So actually, in a fight like this, with that Zuriel staff, it might be the meta having only the range and mage and more inventory slots, less to worry about.
I have to say, this is a man on a mission. He is literally...
Dude, look at this. In the top 16, and he's destroying right now.
He's doing a great job of maintaining control. The pace of the fight, his opponent can't even get close. And just like you were pointing out a little bit ago, Aiza, Mank hasn't been training his melee stats. So these PvP weapons that he's about to get, he doesn't even care about them, just taking them out of the game so that at least his opponents can't use them.
He is one of the best hybrids in the game, I believe, especially in Deadman mode. I think he's died once in the entire Deadman mode.
It's so much easier when you only have to worry about one other style to switch to as well.
No, exactly. And again, the fakies here, putting on the tank gear in between every single barrage to make his opponent seem like he's going to use range instead. And those prayers, again, just flicking them at the perfect times. He knows exactly what he's doing. If he can catch a freeze now, it's all over for Night for me. I mean, to be fair, it's all over already. The guy's got one Shark, one Brudos left. What is Mank going to gain from this fight? I believe he's got literally everything best in stock. Oh, the Verax Helm upgrade, which has a little better stats, less mage negative attack bonuses as well, which is quite useful for his gear setup that he's got. And the VLS, I suppose, he's probably just going to leave on the floor because he's not an opponent to get it, and decrease the chances of his own teammates to get through if he does end up falling in the top 8. But right now, it looks like that's all she wrote. I think he's going to win this fight, despite the 31s. A little bit too little, too late, and Manx goes through to the top 8, I believe.
So with a lot of supplies remaining as well, he completely dominated this fight from start to finish. 94 mage, your tournament run is over. Congratulations to Manx. He advances over towards the top 8, but we still have a lot of fights going down here still in the round of 16. Walk the Walk still alive here. He's one of the main tribirds that we're looking forward remaining, and his opponent has an ACB, so if Barnes wins this fight, he'll have a range upgrade to look forward to.
And that is a big upgrade as well for him from that rune crossbow to the ACB. It's going to be a lot more damage output, especially so important when he's using the hybrid as well.
And he's getting the prayer overheads perfect there. Got the prayer melee up right in the nick of time. He's going to get hit a 10 by the VLS spec, which is really, really awesome. He's got 3 sharks compared to 4 sharks, so a little bit low on food. But if he can get those freezes, unfortunately, though, the mithril seeds, the guy's able to step underneath.
You see that spec? Wise Devil has Opal Dragon Bolts here. You saw the spec go off on Walk to Walk. Somebody's been sitting at Vorkath for a little bit, getting those Dragon Bolts in play here.
Too,
as now Barnes is relying on Blood Barrage to try to heal here, trying to connect there. VLS there, hitting 18 through prayer. Not bad there for Wise Devil, but both players now severely low on supplies. 1 shark here for Wise Devil, and 1 shark as well for Barnes. So it's going to come down to the wire.
Oh,
the
very 47. There we go.
Maker.
And it was at 4. Oh, he could have killed him there, actually. There was a KO opportunity on like 30 HP. Even without the spec, he can still hit 50s and such. So trying to utilize as much as you can those fakies. And right now, Barnes, keeping it as best he can. He's got 1 shark left compared to Wise Devil 0.
He just got a spec to use. You see him trying to charge up that VLS.
30%.
And wait, once he gets unfrozen, he's going to unload.
Definitely. As soon as he's unfrozen. Although the 26, off the Blood Barrage, 2 Wise Devil. Oh my God, no way!
That was
26-35?
A Fool's winner there. So that was Fools v Rads, actually. So I believe Barnes is alongside the Gimme Gimme Alliance at the moment.
Yeah, Tartar he's representing.
Yeah, so Wise from Fools has just managed to take that out. Lovely little message from him. Thank you very much.
Now we have Walk Away versus Venus Larger.
Nice try, buddy. You almost got us. You almost got us.
And looks like we're out of food, but unfortunately for Walk Away, he's got the freeze. Oh, gets hit at 20-0. The second one. Oh, wrong prayer up. Is he going to panic and fall right now? Through the prayer. Maybe caught the freeze. Gets range prayer up quickly.
0.
Spec versus hit. He's got the right prayer up. He's put prayer range up right now.
Come on,
what are you doing? Zeros. Catch the freeze, baby. That's the wrong one. I think he panicked a little bit at the end there. Almost taken on level 121 as well. He should have had that fight.
That was unfortunate there. I mean, just throw up prey range. Maybe you could tank for at least 1 more hit. But there you have it. It looks like we've secured moving into the round of 8. Still players to look forward to. I can't believe Barnes dropped right there, but Wise Devil now, the tribert that I have my eyes on.
And like we said before, the clan that we couldn't talk about, the Fools members, and one of them goes through to the top 8 to take on a really prolific DMM player as well, showing that Fools aren't only one of the best multi-clans, but they've got some really talented single PKs as well. And as I said before, manked up Mage, the guy that we didn't think we'd see here today at all, and he's into the top 8 as well, representing Blazers. He was a bit upset about the disqualification, as is understandable, but took it on the chin. A day later decided, you know what, let's keep smashing it out. And his clan gave him all the supplies to be able to just rush in a couple days to get to the stats where he's literally maxed for range and mage. And now he's showing that it was definitely worthwhile, and it was worthwhile his clan actually putting those resources into him so that he can take it home for them.
He could probably be the first person to go from hero to villain back to hero again. I can't wait. I hope he wins.
I'm not going to lie. My money right now is definitely on Mank to go all the way.
Okay. I mean, at the end of the day, he can't use any melee and he doesn't have those PvP weapons to help out.
Looking at his last fight, I really don't think it matters. He was so
his switches, and also not to mention as well the Zuriel staff he's got as well. We're going to show some replays out right now. 94 Mage versus Smurf, and again showing the power of the tribal setup versus the tank. 94 Mage falling, giving his opponent
didn't even have to sip a brew.
That was a Manx that beat him just so easily. And Walk to Walk versus Wise Devil, that was a really close one. The Tartar versus the Fools, quite a lot of drama there. Unfortunately for Barnes, he managed to fall. And here we go again. Walk Away should have won this fight. I don't know how we.
Well, I think we all know.
We're about to see how
he didn't pray range.
He didn't pray range. Like, you panic at the end, and that comes down to experience, really. The more PK you've had, and the calmer you can remain.
The thing is, he even caught the freeze on his opponent. Like in that situation, you catch a freeze, you immediately want to DD under your opponent, right? And then you're trying to blood barrage after that. They're trying to heal or catch prayer off guard.
I can imagine your heart just beating constantly. Must be so scary.
When you know in the moment, sweaty palms, the last thing that you're thinking of is potentially standing under your opponent, but.
Here we go. We've got Manked versus Wise Devil.
Oh,
Wise
wow.
Devil narrowly beating his opponent last time. Level 122 combat. Now, he's got the VLS as well, Wise Devil, so Mank needs to catch that freeze early on, which he gets as well. Now, it's all about faking in his prayers and outplaying Wise. Unfortunately, missing one there, but only going to hit a 10. Now, it's really anybody's game. Hopefully Smurf can, or rather Manx, can keep his distance right now, and it's all about that distance. Also about the VLS, getting the prayer up at the right time, because if that VLS hits you a 50 or a 60, you're down 3 sharks, something to panic eat constantly. And during that time as well, the other opponent can get the upper hand. It's like a snowball effect. When you start to fall behind, it's very difficult to catch up and bring it back again.
Now, he does obviously have the Armadillo chain skirt, but Wise is out there with the Armadillo crossbow, so his potential damage output is that little bit higher.
Oh, definitely. The Armadillo crossbow compared to the Rune crossbow is huge. Not to mention as well that Wise Devil does have that imbued heart, which gives you a huge defense bonus. Luckily for Manx, hitting a 0 to the VLS. Could have been a 50 right there, so very lucky there. And Open Bolt's hitting through the prayer, hitting a 10. Ooh. And a 29 on Robes. He's got to stick in his tank gear as much as he possibly can, catch those freezes early on. But actually, Manx is dominating this fight. Just look at the food differences. And he's got 5 sharks extra, I believe, or a couple of ground ones too. He's not,
It's if you watch him, he's literally getting into the right gear and every single attack, getting the right prayer switches. I think he's made like 1 or 2 mistakes this entire fight so far, and it's really showing because it's really paying off. You can see how much he's got left in comparison, as you say, Ian.
Well, he's been here before. He's got the experience, and despite that VLSing at 29, Mank is still up a lot of supplies right now. But the 35-2, this is the snowball effect I was talking about. Luckily, Mank catches that clutch freeze as Wise Devil goes to the VLS. That was so crucial right there to keep outputting damage. And again, faking his mage, put the frame range up, boom, he hits, Blood Barrage, getting the HP back as well. Mank's doing a fantastic job right now of parrying his opponent, faking out his hits, and catching every single prayer on point.
Yeah, he's locked in. His clicks are on point, out DPSing his opponent for the time being, despite not having a melee switch trying to aid him there. The VLS hits a 10 through prayer. Now Mank, his main focus now, trying to freeze his opponent, limit that melee damage. Maybe he wants to switch range here as his opponent currently playing mage. Good fakey out there, back onto mage. Unfortunately, he splashes there, but still Mank, he's doing a great job. He's hanging in the fight, still has a full brew left as well.
He also has 60%, 70% spec, and Wise Devil has 62. That's 1 spec for Mank. He's got to get it on Prey Mage. There it was, a 0. Unfortunately, I believe it was the spec that hit as well. That could have been huge. And Wise Devil has actually brought this back really well.
He's done a really good job of like staying in this, considering how lucky Mank has got with all of his freezes so far. So it's only been it's basically range mage v range mage, which is exactly what Mank wants.
But Wise Devil still has 70% spec left. If he gets unfrozen, he's just going to go right for the VLS.
And that translates to 3 special attacks, which do roll off, like I said before, 25% of your opponent's defense level, so they're going to be incredibly accurate. They can output a lot of damage as well. Now, Mank on the back burner, just eating shark after shark right now. The 28 on the right prayer now. He's starting to panic a little bit. He's catching this freeze desperately. The wrong prayer again. Wise of the ACB hitting a 0, unfortunately. The spec rolly free. Let's go for him. He's come back like 6 food down, I think, and actually completely turn this fight around. And just the onslaught of hits right now, that VLS has been just exceptional. I believe Mank's got to pull off a miracle here. Getting here 30. Can't go words. This is ridiculous. Wise Devil again with the barrage. He's destroying him with the wrong prayer up. I think Manx is out of food. That was ridiculous. He's got 4 sharks left, Wise Devil. Looks like Manx has to pull off a miracle to actually bring this back, like I said before. But I don't think he's capable of doing it as good as Manx is.
Blood Barrage and Desperation just trying to heal. Any little bit of hit points to try to stay alive is Mank. Even the heart pair being thrown up. But still, Wise Devil, lots of stars left. And there's the KO to secure it.
Another Fools member going through. Again, he was from last time. Proving again that Fools have got some really talented 1v1ers. We have Gazing.
Okay. The Bogey Killer's still alive.
Oh, that was Gazing from earlier. Yeah, and he's down to 1 shark versus 2 sharks and 1 Karamwan. Now, both of these guys... Gazing's actually bridding, and unfortunately for him, he's actually down food to the range. They're both bridding. The VLS as well and the staff fall loose, so Gazing needs to do something really special here to try and catch back. But down to 1 shark each on 60 HP. Looking at spec as well. One's got 25, one's got 20, so that's 2 spec each potentially with the VLS.
And keep in mind, Azu, he's poisoned right now. Gazing Reaper, because he's got the combo runes in his inventory, he could use that smoke barrage, and with the Zuriel staff,
now it hits 8 now, doesn't it? So that's
especially when that fog starts coming in, that consistent damage. We've seen how close these fights can get. That's going to make all of the difference.
You guys are meanies and giving them regular super swords over Sandfuse. These guys can't recover from that poison.
Well, down to 0 food now. Lou, he's caught that freeze, trying to get underneath, trying to do his best he can to come back. The 31, that's a great comeback. Now Gazing has got his special attack out. And there it is. I did say the special attack. He was waiting for it. It wasn't actually a special attack, I think, either. Just a 30 bop to the head.
Literally just bopped him in the head. Off he does.
A 45. Those weapons are incredibly accurate. And if you get into close range like that, you've got to prioritize making sure you put that prey melee on to minimize the damage possible. Now, as mentioned before, all the players that have made it through have got themselves a guaranteed prize in the top 8. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so there's a tier that will give everyone membership, and then we run into the actual prize pool, first prize being $15,000, and then it goes down from there. So they're all guaranteed to have won something now. I think it's 12 months of membership at least as a minimum, which is a fair enough for competing. It's going to get them at least like an extra 3 more tournaments to do. So
I wonder if anyone expected the Fools little, the 80 players they had playing, and nobody knew about it.
There had to have been somebody out there that had some sort of intel in the Fools Clan that knew that they were going to be playing, but it caught us off guard. I remember I was in a conversation with you. I was like, Fools are playing. Like, we had no idea we were playing up until the stream went live.
I think they can go all the way now, like proving his worth, beating Manx, obviously one of the best DMM players, like I said before, in the entire game. That's where money's on right now. I think Fools can take it all the way and take their second Deadman mode win.
Yeah, we got to give a lot of credit to Mank as well. Despite that, the EQ he wasn't able to play on, the account he wanted to play on with magic and range, the only combat styles available to him, he still makes it pretty damn far.
And like that fight at the start looked very much in the favour of Mank as well. Wise, I think we just have to give a little bit of credit to. He did a fantastic job of pulling it back, not panicking in the moments that he was frozen, not being able to use like that melee. But obviously he is the higher level player in terms of combat. Had that little bit of an upper hand in terms of the ranged attack bonus, and I think that's just what helped him pull through. And there
I thought he was going to come back. I thought he was going to come back, but gazing, showing that you just can't just be Bodhi. He's going to be each person. Further and further.
And you can't kill Bodhi and then just die in the following round. Now you got to win the entire thing.
Have we got any other players that we are spotlighting that have gone through, that have made it to the top 8? Who do we have in the final so far? It'd be great to have some clarification on which clans are left.
So in the last 4, we have Gazing, who's from Fools, Jelcure, who's from Weed Blazers, Wise Devil is also from Fools, and then CP Bolt is from CT, Cutthroat. So we have 2 Fools members, 1 Weed Blazer, and 1 Cutthroat member in the final 4.
Wow.
If the Fools members don't match up against one another here, then there's a chance that we could have a Fools v Fools final.
Potentially, that would be interesting.
What do you think? What do you think they do? Just like the person that's the best, better hybrid, the more trusted players take the mind and split it between their clan?
Out. I mean, for a lot of these guys, they want the notoriety for their clan. That's already been achieved. Sure. Now it's about just in the inner workings of the clan. Who is the best hybrid? Yeah,
definitely. Now, one thing that is important to highlight here is that we have these little mini pause moments in between rounds. What we're actually doing is we have the anti-cheating team alongside with us, and what they're going to be doing throughout the entire, and they have been doing up to this point, they'll carry on doing it too, is just making sure that all of these players have got to where they have got legit and fairly. If we do think or suspect there's been any cheating or any kind of like foul play involved, then that's going to be investigated further, and there might be potential disqualifications during this lead up. And that's just to make sure that when we get to the point of someone's won, we want to know that they're definitely the winner. So how do you think so far? What's been your favourite moment?
Honestly, this has been the most competitive tournament of all time. Right now, we have players who seem to think to be into the 1 versus 1s, let alone get this far. Every clan had people in here, and now it's just a battle of the 1v1s. Who is the best hybrid? Which clan is going to take it?
Here we go, we're about to find out.
Straight off the bat, Jelka versus Gazing, getting the VLS spec in with the 23. Worthwhile stacking up the damage early on. The 30 barrage, 2 on the DD. Gazing showing his worth right now. Not just able to beat Boti, like we said before. Getting the Prey on Prey melee too, predicting that from Jelka. He's doing a fantastic job right now. And if he keeps this pressure, he's going to go a long way.
Okay, still early on in the fight, of course, but Gazing Reaper, he's controlling the pace a bit earlier on. You see going on just to the east of them, Wise Devil versus P-Bolt. You see the full Armadillo there as well with the Fire Cape. As just like Aiza was mentioning, we're going to have this semifinal fight go down, and then we'll begin the other one.
No, absolutely. And Joker, again, trying to get another spec. He's out of spec right now. And Gazing, actually, to using free sharks. Making Jelka use free sharks. All the spec being unloaded really early on, just like I said before, controlling the pace of the fight, making his opponent fall behind. Now Jelka trying to go for the strategy of barraging, DDing underneath, despite Gazing getting it first. And those fakies, again, pulling out the staff, making him think he's going to use magic. And then last second, changing to the
Why is he letting this happen? Both players have Mithril Seeds. Like, don't let this guy just free DD Bri right under you.
I know, right?
Use the Mithril Seeds, create some spacing, and at least force him to try to move around the map and make them feel a little bit uncomfortable.
Right now, gear disparity as well. By the looks of things, Jelka has got a slight advantage with the ACB outputting more damage there, but Gazing showing that he is the better player and catching a lot more freezes, although double-clicking his prayers there, taking 2 hits on the wrong prayer, 13-0, luckily for him. Gazing still trying to catch that freeze now, putting down the Mithril Seeds. It's if they just heard us in real time, and then we got a delay, but...
So we're looking at Fools v Weed Blazers, obviously, here. You'll notice, well, those of you might have noticed that Gazing had a slight name change. We just swapped an A for an E. A little bit easier for us to read off and pronounce there. This fight, though, so it's definitely in favour of Gazing. Jelcure is really trying his hardest to keep it back, but I think it's just going to be... it looks very one-sided at the moment.
And Gazing is with who again?
Fools.
Yeah, Gazing is with Fools. Jelka is with Weed Blazers.
Wow, so both very prolific 1v1ers. Obviously, some of their best members have been kitted up.
Wow, 58 VLS.
That's what we've been waiting
to the
for.
heart.
Now, at this point, I don't think Jelka can really do much here, apart from VLS back. A 43, not bad to be fair, but down 5 sharks. It's going to be very difficult to come back. Looking at the supplies as well, they have restores left. They could use the Redemption Prayer if they could, but Gazing, 4 sharks left. Jelka on 50 hit points. Catching the freeze, though, getting underneath. The ACB, not catch the freeze, sorry. Gazing's unfrozen.
Has managed to bring it back enough here a little bit. We've got 1 shark, 2 ground bands against 3 sharks. It's not actually that one-sided anymore.
I mean, right now, it's anybody's game. It's just keeping calm. They both know they're down to low supplies. And if you just keep cool and you change your prayers at the right times, you can definitely get further.
Keep note, both of them about to get another VLS back at 15%. Yeah, 25%. Gazing Reaper, he's going to have it first. So as soon as he gets unfrozen, you know that he wants to swap over that VLS. Here comes Jelka trying to get a hit in, but Reaper there with the prayer switch. There's the VLS back, only at 14, though. But now it's going to be Jelka's turn with the ACB, forces the range pray, goes for the VLS hit.
Oh, wow.
Right,
and right before he swaps the robes as well.
Well, right now, both down to 50 hit points.
Barrage there, though,
70 HP versus 70. They're both down to no food, no supplies left. Jelka is unfrozen, so a slight advantage here. Hitting a 0, the VLS Gazing. Unfortunately, hitting zeros. Again, just trying to catch the freeze right now is all he can really do. If Gazing Staff Bash, he's starting to panic, you can tell. And the VLS, hoping for those 50s. You can bop so much damage here. You can actually kill them from this HP pretty much, even with no spec left. And again, just waiting for those freezes, hoping they catch it first. It's a battle of RNG right now and focusing your opponent on the wrong prayers and going for those 1-ticks-2. Gazing with the stab, gets the premium up in time. Jelka trying to control his fight, getting the freeze. Oh, the fakie twice. Unfortunately, didn't make anything of it.
Jelka using a really, really good tactic here of dropping Mithril Seeds underneath his opponent so he can't Mithril Seed himself out. So he's going to be constantly frozen in spot. He hasn't done it this time round because he's choosing to go in and out and obviously fakey his opponent and try and get those hits without him knowing which prayer he's using. Now it's going to be the tables of turn potentially. Gazing might actually have the upper hand on Jelka here, but he's actually used the Mithril Seed before he could get dropped off, so he's been able to get out of that spot. Going to carry on using them to try and carry up this damage.
Spec's about to regenerate for both these players as well. Another VLS spec potentially. I feel like if you're Jelka, when you have the ACB in your repertoire and your opponent you want to create space, right? You have that out DPS with the ACB, just major
and again, he's heard you, man. He's heard you. He's going for the barrages, stepping away, putting him on the tank. Oh, there it is. Playing really, really well there. Looks like Blazers go forward into the finals for one of the first times, I believe, apart from Manx obviously getting the win once.
Believe so, yeah.
But congratulations to them. They're a really strong 1v1 team. They tried many times making it into 1v1 stages, and always they get singled out because obviously they're known for their prolific 1v1 abilities. So now to get through into the 1v1, beating Fools, who they're actually friends with as well, must be such a sensational feeling.
Okay, so that's one semi-final fight done and dusted. We know that one representative from Weed Blazers will be in the finals. Of course, that ACB really making the difference there.
Yeah,
I think the ACB with the Opal Bolts just out DPS and the rune crossbow so much.
Really accurate as well.
But even with the gear difference, though, that fight still came down to literally the last few moments, like the last little bits of HP.
It just shows hit a little bit more with the VLS, get a 60 randomly, you can actually change the outcome completely.
I just love the animation of the VLS back. It's just like a little poke, and all of a sudden you're down 60 HP.
Well, here we go again. Wise Devil versus Bolt. I'm not going to pronounce that.
We've got Fools v Cutthroat. This is going to be an interesting fight.
Who's in who? I'm guessing Cutthroat is SC.
Well, Wise Devil's Fool, so Piebolt is...
Exactly, you got it.
So, like we said before, SC actually has the full armor deal, which has incredibly high mage defense bonuses, going for the tank, going for the vengeance. Interesting strategy. In the past, we've not seen it actually be utilized and be worthwhile, but this time round, he's got much better gear than the other range tanks, and he's off to a great start right now. Wise Devil needs to catch those freezes and utilize his magic. And the ACB and the 41 from the VLS. Oh my gosh. In Armadillo 2 has negative bonuses actually for the melee style. So interesting to actually hit a 41 regardless of that, because obviously the VLS hits through really low defense, bases off from 25% of your opponent's defense level. And right now, Wise Devil needs to do something special to come back, but a great fakie there. The melee 30. Can he catch the freeze?
Wow,
beautiful. Unfortunately for him, though, the vengeance coming to fruition there as well, doing a little bit of damage, just whittling away a little bit too.
And Wise Devil, he's still taking a lot of damage here. Piebolt with another VLS hit. 34 there. Wise Devil, his supplies are falling low.
He could have killed him there.
Yeah, he could have died right there.
Potential on 30 HP.
Drops over to range. Both players now starting to drop low. Wise Devil, he's down to his final 3 sharks.
Already, that was the fastest fight ever.
Got a full inventory.
I think even if Wise Devil does really, really well here, he's got food on the floor. He left a bunch of sharks on the floor, I believe. Because
maybe from the previous fight?
He didn't have the space in his inventory to grab all the sharks, potentially, so he's still got them on the floor, so he can pick them up whenever he wants to utilize them.
Yeah, so the important part is that the food that goes into your inventory can only go into your free space.
Into your free space,
So if he's got too many gear switches, which you can see here with the Imbued Heart, with the Carol's Top, the 2 melee swaps as well, with obviously the sword and the defender, he's going to want to drop a few of those to make sure he's got enough space for food. So
despite that, though, SC Peeble, he's still doing really, really well. And I think he's still winning this fight. Just going for the fakies, the one ticking from the range, from the melee. It's not a hard switch to pull off. and it's incredibly powerful too. If you hit those 40s on the right prayer, oh, it's beautiful. The Wise Devil doing a really good job of actually staying in this fight and not panicking too much. The Vengeance is coming in as well now. Going to be huge. Oh, on the VLS spec too, that could have been a big amount of damage hit back again. Lucky for him too, though, hitting at 0. That's going to save him a lot of supplies. The Vengeance again still dwindling down. Now Wise needs to get those freezes off. I'm surprised he's not actually stepping underneath either. That's a tactic we've seen quite a lot from the Tribrid.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to point out earlier is in the one moment where he got the freeze eventually after so many splashes, he did catch it, but then just decided to just stand 2 steps in front and just kept on taking damage after damage after damage.
Finally, he starts to create some space, right? That's the advantage of having Mage over your opponent. You could freeze him and then create some space, force him to stick with that range attack, and just try to take it when you go into melee damage. Just try to go in a diagonal square across, so they can't melee you back.
Oh, the 35 smack.
Despite only being a range tank, he's been in control from start to finish, and Wise Devil knows it's over.
Oh, he's just playing around a little bit, thinking like, oh, you can have the win. Actually, never mind, I'm going to stay in it. Oh, never mind, 21, going for the smite. He realizes he can't really come back at this situation, and now that means that a Fool's Mode is going to go down, which means the final is going to be between
57 smack as well.
CT and Fools in the final to take it. Fair play to him, though. He put up a great fight, but I think the Armadillo, ultimately, the Mage defense bonus on that stuff, not even the Zuriel staff can fight it, and obviously killing Armadillo in Deadman mode with such low stats for a lot of players, and an incredibly dangerous area too. Props to CT for actually going there with like 10, 20-man teams and getting themselves the items.
I wonder if he actually picked it up from Weiss. Do you remember Weiss earlier in the tournament when he got that double Armadillo kill? I wonder if, maybe they matched his opponent.
We just noticed from chat there, though, is they both said #Fools, and CE said respect from Finland, so maybe it was Fools.
Wait, so you think the top 3 players potentially might all be from Fools right now? That is unbelievable. They went under the radar the whole way through. 80 players made it through to the 1v1s. Not only through, but 3 people in the top. That's ridiculous.
Hopefully we can get some verification on that very soon as we head into the final fight. But wow, what a great 2 fights we've just seen then.
Yeah,
that's the replay right now.
Yeah, here's the replay. Gazing Reaper up against Jelker came down to really the final food slots for both these players. The difference maker for me, the ACB versus the Rune Crossbow. Jelker creating distance here at the end. He knows that he can out DPS their opponents, but these PvP weapons, I'm not sure, like, we were kind of guessing, what we were going to see, when we came down to these 1v1s, and clearly they're the difference maker, man. So much DPS output from them.
Absolutely, and Jelker now coming to show if he actually is the man that he looks like. But I was going to say as well, Seeable, he's got that full Armadillo, man. That was just so brutal for Wise Devil to come up against.
At the point, it came into a point where he just stopped using Mage. It just wasn't worth it. It just splash after splash. He just decided, okay, well, I'll just go range melee instead.
Yeah, even with the Zuriel staff, that 10% accuracy, not making much of a difference up against the Armadillo. And it was just frustrating for Wise Devil from the start. Like, he couldn't catch that initial freeze. Piebald came in with some big specs.
The 57
at the end to secure it.
And
there you go,
Fools,
the final.
you're right.
So.
The top 3, all Fools members. So what's that? 20k, 10k, and
1k.
So they've won 31 grand potentially if it has actually all
32.
Oh my gosh, that's pretty impressive.
Not bad from Fools, considering they're hiding themselves entering the tournament. They make a big finish at the end, but now it's time for the final 1v1 fight.
Yep, and it's going to be an interesting fight, especially with the 2 people that we've seen get this far, the gear that they have.
Hopefully they give us quite a nice show to fight. Hopefully they take off their prayers, just see some massive VLS hits, some 60s and 70s if it's possible. But again, like the one thing we were really expecting in these fights was the power of these ancient weaponry, and we've seen them being utilized in such a fantastic fashion. We've seen 40s, 50s of out the specials, and it goes to show that next tournament, it's going to be definitely a thing that clans are going to really prioritize getting, because it's all the difference. So it's a game changer pretty much.
Yeah, absolutely. And even as we look ahead towards the winter season, the PvP armors are going to come into play too. Things are only going to get more spicy looking ahead for the future of Deadman, but we got to get past this final 1v1. It comes down to these final 2 Fools members, and it's completely different gear as well. It's a range tank and Armadillo versus a tribe with the Zuriel staff, the VLS. So we're kind of wondering, what's the best setup, from Deadman's past. Is it going to be a tribe or is it going to be a range tank? We'll find out right here.
Straight into the action, catching the freeze straight off as well.
Oh my god,
42 VLS spec, that's 2 great hits.
Oh, off prey, double click his prayers, they're taking this promo for a second. Unfortunately, the 0 though. Jelda trying to catch a freeze at the moment, and he caught it. Now, CPable just going to sit there and just kind of bolt as much as he possibly can. But the 26 through the prayer again, the accuracy of that VLS coming to fruition. It's so powerful right now. Not taking his shield off for the tank switch, no point. Jelka right now just doing absolute work. He's catching another freeze now and hopefully minimizes DPS because the Vengeance is up right now. If he hits that Vengeance big, he's going to deal a lot more damage back again. He's got the Ring of Suffering too. We see the recoil effect coming into fruition as well, which is really useful. Can he catch the freeze though? Is he going to stay? And could be KO there? Oh, Prey melee up right in the nick of time.
He's got to feel so scared whenever he switches to ropes, right? Just mitigating his melee defensive bonuses as Piebolt says, now it's my turn. He unleashes some VLS damage onto his opponent, trying to take control of the tempo of the fight. Just take a look at the supplies remaining for each player. Piebolt, of course, with lots of food remaining. Maybe there's some on the floor for Jelker as he's down to just a couple of sharks and one Karambwan.
Right there, the Vengeance again, getting a 30 back at him, plus a combo with a 30 VLS. CB or Vault Vengeance doing absolute work right now, and he still has 20% spec versus 10%, so like you said before. If Joe gets that spec, he's got a bit more KO potential, and I think if he wants to really, completely win this fight, he needs to really utilize that spec as much as possible.
Yeah. So a quick update in terms of the players. It might actually be possible that Jelker isn't part of Fools and might actually be part of Weed Blazers, which would make sense as to why SC was part of Fools. Have to wait and see, though. Try and get full confirmation on that.
Well, if so, then I guess it's the battle of the Titans right now. Both have got really powerful 1v1ers and both very formidable clans. They've known each other for many years now as well, many friends. Iameri and Wiggled, I'm sure the leaders of both are very close as well. Now, Jelga going for the freeze again. CP at Searbolt, seeing it's going to come up, but he actually get faked out, putting the wrong prey up. But fortunately for him, getting a 0. And again, just this Armadillo, 0 catch rate for Jelka right now, even with the right gear.
Oh, wow, that was a nice hit, though.
But almost killed himself as well. Yeah. He could have actually killed himself there.
Wasn't even a spec as well. He still has a VLS spec to use. Is Jelker on the mage free. He catches the freeze, swaps over to the VLS, back to mage. Try to catch his opponent off guard. Can he hit with the spec? It's a 31. Does use it there. As now both players with the same amount of special attack percentage remaining, but Jelker has no food left.
And the Vengeance as well from C is going to slowly dwindle Jelker's supplies away, despite him not being hit, or whether he gets hit or not. He wants to go for the VLS combo for the KO, which is understandable right now. And there it is, the 0. So we see Jelker down to no supplies, 75 hit points. Searbolt is about like, I don't know, like double the HP right now, including the food in his inventory. There's a very clear advantage for him. Plus the Vengeance, like I said before, Jelker needs to catch that freeze or keep hitting him the right prayers and hope for some really good RNG. He's got a spec any second now, 10% more. When that goes up, that could be a KO potential, hitting 60s maximum.
Thing is, every time Jelker switches over to robes, Piebolt's right on him with the VLS, just trying to capitalize on the fact that he has less melee bonuses. But Jelker just got 25% spec. He just got 25% spec. There's still a chance for him. A big VLS hit could turn the tide here.
Keep in mind as well that obviously the ACB does have a special attack on it, so he can one-team if he wanted to, which will be which obviously his opponent won't be able to pray or predict coming either. Joker going for spec, 36, not bad. They're down to no supplies each right now. It's really, really close, but obviously C does have that Vengeance. If it comes in any second now, there's only the 9. Joker's only just standing in there, but starting to panic a little bit. Got the Barrack Skull on trying to catch freezes. Can he catch the freeze? He needs to catch it. There it is. Nice. He's got a slight chance now to come back. 60 hit points down. There's the Venge, but he's still alive. That's all that matters right now. 28. Oh my god, he's doing really, really well to come back. Like 70, 80 HP.
Oh, this could be the biggest turnaround I've ever seen.
He has no spec left for either player, and there it is.
Oh no!
33, so close. My gosh. Again, like I said before, the Armadillo. Fantastic ending for him.
Guys, we have a winner. Searbolt has just won for Fools. That is Fools. Is that their 3rd victory now, I believe?
Might be.
They might be in and around the 100K region. Congratulations to Fools. Finland coming so strong, representing in Deadman here. What a final that was.
Incredible. Honestly, I'm just like taken for words. That few moments just took my breath away. I thought there was going to be the biggest turnaround of the century.
It was the biggest turnaround. He was down like 4 food and came back.
Just unfortunate, as he stepped out, he used Protect from melee, thinking he was going to get the VLS spec out, but unfortunately, actually got ranged bolted to the eyeballs.
And again, the power of the ACB, man, it's so accurate compared to the Rune Crossbow.
Yeah, well, I mean, we saw ACB, we saw Armadillo Chain Skirt and Bottoms as well. Rope Top, Chain Top. You know what I mean. But the gear was just too good. It meant that the mage attacks just weren't strong enough. You couldn't get through enough into the freezes, and unfortunately, it just wasn't enough in the end for him to pull it back.
11 HP winds up being the difference between both players in the end. And I think we could all say the PvP weapons being added to DMM, great change to the game mode, provided for a lot of insane moments, lots of big hits, lots of close fights throughout each and every round. This is one of my favorite Deadman so far.
Without a doubt. And we always watch these things back, and I'm sure the players that are competing in the finals always watch these fights back to watch where they've messed up, what they've been doing wrong. When you were watching that final, was there anything that was standing out? Thank you. Was there anything standing?
How many have you got on your head? What do you look? How many there are?
To answer your question, Chris, I saw a lot of players with some sneaky tricks, in their bag. One using the combo runes to try to get the smoke barrage onto their opponent, trying to increase that poison damage. Also trying to use the mithril seeds, planting them under your opponent so that they can't use them back. Players, they're just getting more creative each and every mode, and just trying to figure out what slight advantages they could get to, increase their percentages in their fights.
And for me, it was a toss-up between the Fools out of nowhere. We didn't even know they were in the tournament until today when you guys got the statistics up and checked out who was actually playing. That was awesome to see, for them to actually take the win as well. That's amazing. Also, Manked Up Mage, despite being disqualified, props to him for getting back into it, jumping into the 1 versus 1s and getting really far too. Almost taking it.
Yep. We really had excellent representation from all the content creators this time competing in Deadman. They all seem to do just so well. These guys put themselves at a disadvantage by streaming the game mode for the tournament. Easily stream sniped without a doubt. So much easier to go into this. Actually, something Manx did for the first time this time was kind of go undercover. With the name change, nobody had any idea what he was doing, and he went on to make such a great name for himself on his alt account nonetheless. So props to Manx.
And again, this fight, the recap we're watching right now, Seabuilt, again, just showing like that ACB and Armadillo combo with the DFS, huge tank gear. Plus, I think the VLS is what really won it for him. If he didn't have that VLS, just, range tanking with a whip as well, he would not have taken it through. But that armory, the weaponry from the Ancient is so good. The 33
11 HP.
So close,
It was one hit
so
away
close.
from pulling that back after being down 0 food for so long.
Yeah. I remember messaging Fools quite some time ago, maybe 2-3 months ago. I remember messaging them, trying to get one of them to play on this stage. So I was in contact with the leader of Fools, and he was like, no, we're not really going to be playing this tournament. Actually, Lit are just too big. Because Lit have gone around, they've got the alliances from every other big clan. However many you can think of, really. Just so many people grouping together to take Fools and rot out. And they were like, you know what, it's really just not worth our time. We might have a few people playing, nothing really too big. And then you go and see them representing the majority of the top even 50, playing so well, then going on to win it seemingly a little easily, actually.
Yeah, they fooled you, they fooled us, and now they wind up walking away as the Autumn champions. What a crazy turnaround.
Yeah, we actually have a little message that's come through from the winner. Interestingly enough, we have respect from Finland, #Fools baby. So bless
there you
them.
go.
That was
nice and simple.
yeah.
Appreciate that.
Straight to the point. Doesn't beat around the bush.
Oh, definitely.
Congratulations to them though, especially for keeping it quiet for so long.
I don't know how they managed to do that. Like,
I'm sure there were people that were aware, but not enough people by the sounds of it.
Well, guys, I'm going to come back to you very shortly. We have a brand new season about to be underway if it's not already, so we'll get back to that in a second, but we really need to catch up with these players on stage. So I'm just going to grab my mic and head over to have a word with Skill Specs. So, Skill Specs, tell me about what happened to you in this Deadman tournament.
RNG was not in my favor towards the end, but regardless, I made it into the 1v1s, and that's an accomplishment in itself.
I think you proved something really impressive, actually. Your stats were not quite maxed, nothing too terribly impressive. You said yourself you were going up against a raid boss. What was your first thought when you saw your opponent?
Oh, no. He actually had everything I didn't want to see. But did pretty well. Towards the end, he had, like, no food either, so...
Yeah, you did really well.
Thank you.
Well done. Are you looking?
Next time.
Are you looking to go just as strong in the next season?
I will try my best.
Good luck.
And that's a promise.
All right. Well done, Skillsex. Thank you. Curtis, what happened?
Oh, we were dominating the fight the entire time. Like, I knew I was winning because at the start I was just catching so many barrages, hitting so much on him.
Yep.
At the start of the fight, I was like, okay, this guy's got a whip. He's got a Staff of the Dead. That's pretty scary. But what spec weapon has he got? And he pulled out an AGS, and I was like, well, I've got to watch out for those hits then. The entire fight, I was just like, okay, I better save against this. And then he caught me out with just like a 36. I was 6 brews up, he was 0 food, and I just got caught out, so.
Shame.
Disappointed about that, but we'll watch out for next time.
Okay.
Just chug those brews the entire time.
And next season, next tournament, same story?
Yeah.
Even better?
I'm going to do the exact same tactic because it works every time for me. But yeah, at least I can keep in mind now what I've done wrong this tournament, look back at it and be like, okay, that's what I got to work on. But I'm very happy with how I've improved, and to be that far up before I get KO'd in terms of food, like, I'm very happy with that.
Yeah. You always do so consistently well.
In terms of like getting to the 1v1s though, I thought I wasn't even going to get there because we were like clumped around the whole Anakar.
Yeah.
But managed to get into the 1v1s 3 times in a row, so I'm pretty happy with that.
So as one of the more veteran Deadman players in the entire game mode, with all of the new players watching right now, hopping into the new season, can you give them a bit of advice?
I would say if you're going to play the new season, keep in mind that there's PvP armors and weapons now. Those are going to be absolute bank. Do well in a Slayer, honestly. Really good for points. You get the emblems as well to sell. That's how I really build my account.
Yeah.
I start off with range. It's very easy. You can buy stuff from the range store now, like the Dogs with Crossbow.
Yep.
Very easy to strain up and very easy to make money now.
Okay.
I recommend, honestly.
Well, thank you, Curtis, and best of luck in the next season. Kemp Q, it's your first ever time playing on stage. Yeah. What's the difference between playing at home?
Well, I didn't have a lot of the stuff that I set up at home ready, so like I had to optimize my client. So I had to make sure that all the things that are enabled at home are different. But yeah, that's the main difference, I guess.
And what was the experience like this time around? How'd you do?
I think well for my first tournament. I didn't get quite into the 1v1s. I was pretty close, but my team in Anakarl, they did better than we did in Falador, and I was in Falador. Unfortunately, I got the half chance of hitting that, and we unfortunately perished there, or most of us did. A few of us actually made it in the 1v1s, but yeah.
Any new plans to strategize for the next tournament?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna take what Curtis is doing. He had a really good, well thought out route, and I want to take some notes from that and try to get maxed, because I think my biggest problem was not being maxed and just having a stat deficit mostly.
And are you streaming or making any videos for the next tournament next season?
Absolutely. I'm going to be jumping right into the season and start streaming and making videos of that. Yep.
Wonderful. Looking forward to it. Best of luck in the next season. Okay, guys. So, slippery. Listening back to the guys on stage, was there anything, any kind of pivot points in this tournament that you think they should have changed their strategy up a little bit, or?
Yeah, I can give some advice. So, Jay, I think, again, like you said before, really fantastic effort, mate. I'm really happy for you that you got to 1v1s, and I'm really proud of yourself for that as well. It's just unfortunate that, unfortunately, the brew to restore ratio wasn't perfect, so you ran out of restores right at the end there. But at the start of the fight, when I was watching it, you did really, really well. That guy definitely outstatted you, outgeared you, but you showed that, the true power of the Carol Darroch, which is something you're very confident with. Curtis as well, like his route, like you said before, he's perfected it over many tournaments now, and as a hybrid as well, I said this on Twitter before, he's improved time and time again. It's definitely noticeable. It's just a shame that he made a little misclick there and something a bit too low HP, but obviously, like I said before, he's taking it stride and improve next time. Martin, again, you did really, really fantastic job. Your first tournament as well, you played properly, went down the MM2 route. Not an easy one to go down. You died a few times there to different clans. Just unfortunate, like you said, that you had the bad flip of the coin, went to the Falador area rather than the Anakarl, but I think they should be proud of themselves, and I'm sure everyone at home is really proud of them as well.
Without a doubt, and we so appreciate them coming to play on stage. The next season, if you are a new player or maybe an experienced player, you're still looking to learn or just follow their progress, all three of these guys will be making content, so really looking forward to watching their streams. Now, speaking of the new season, Maraiza, tell me about what's in your hands right here.
Yeah, so I'm not being that ignorant as I normally am. I'm actually logged in currently to the brand new season with around about 600 eager beavers currently trying to catch their 10K from the Stronghold of Security. So I'm trying to do the same. I've currently got 30 minutes of immunity. If you are interested in getting into the new season, you can enter !new season into the chat. Also, just a quick reminder, there are 4 days left of Twitch Prime. So !Prime in the chat. If you want to grab yourself a month's free membership with your Prime subscription, and also drop that onto your favorite streamer as well.
Yeah, perfect time to use them. And look, I will say, as a Jackins employee, you cannot get any of these questions wrong. If you get any of these wrong, then
no, as you said that, I didn't even read it. So. There we go. Don't do what I just did. Make sure you read the questions properly. I want to add as well, this season, now is the best time to jump straight into it. Get that nostalgic feel of Deadman mode. Get into combat, that exhilarating, getting your key, getting some PKs going, or just have fun. This mode itself is a very accelerated version of the main game, much more high adrenaline action. You get like 10 times experience rates, I believe, in the seasonal 2. Although there isn't XP caps, so people can't get too far ahead. But my biggest, just jump in there right now. If you've got Twitch Prime, you can get a 3 month membership, like I said before, and just enjoy yourself, really.
Yeah, I think my favorite piece of advice from you actually is just training whatever you want to do.
Yeah, stick to what you know, definitely.
When I played Deadman, I wasn't